So today we're gonna add interaction so you can interact with certain items as well. Any items that you actually want. Um, so let's just go into systems and let's create an actor component. So this will be AC action. So you're gonna add inventory as well to it. So we are going to have a structure, so you can create a folder called structures, and in here we're going to have basic structure, so like st, for example, item info or item data, and duplicate that and do st player inventory. What is basically the same as item information. Um, but of course you can have more stuff in the player. Um, so what we will have here is, for example, name, quantity, so how many items we actually have, and we will have class. So quantity is integer and class is an actor of class reference. You can call it as actor as well. So now for the inventory it's the same thing. And of course class, that's gonna be the actor. That basically means what kind of actor we have there. And name is name. Okay, so that's done. So now we can go to AC interaction and add a variable called player. We'll just call it inventory. How did I delete that, bro? And search for ST inventory that you just created. This one. And it should be array because we are going to have multiple items in that one. So there's multiple ways to create an inventory or to add items to our inventory. The first one is you get a copy, right? And this is the array. So if you add 5, then you can choose. Basically promote this into a selected item. And what you can do, you can add a unique one like this. You can add a unique one, or we can set array element. And the index would be the selected item, and the inventory like this. And the item would be basically super duper unique, so it would be the item, and it would just basically, if we add 1 or 0 index, right, and if this is 0, it would just overwrite these things. So if you add, for example, rock, it would say rock right here. We're gonna start with a trace. This will not be a line trace, but rather a sphere trace. So you do a sphere trace by channel, and this is better than a line trace because you can actually set the radius, so you don't have to be super duper accurate with your crosshair. So you can set it like 15 or so, but we're gonna add that into our input. The start, just get camera manager, get actor location, add that to the start, and from the camera thingy, get actor forward vector. You can multiply that if I can find the multiplication key right here with a float. So that means how long will the line be. I would say for first person 300. Then just add the actor location with this multiply and add that to the end. And voila, you have a sphere line trace. Now from this turn you do a check if we actually hit something. Then we do a break right here. I usually just promote the hit actor into a, not the local one, but into a variable. And then add a return node and add this input into the output. So that means hit actor. You may probably ask why we are not checking if the actor has like an interface or has a tag. so we don't like do weird stuff, because we're gonna do it right here. So we're gonna do, no, we have to create actually the input. So let's go to input, action, duplicate some sort of input and do interact. And let's go to defaults and let's add a new one. This will be, whoops, the wrong one. This will be interact. We're gonna do left mouse button and also the E key. Okay, so we can do now interact. And from the start, we can do the trace with a radius of, I would say 10 to 15 would be kind of good. Right here you can have a branch and does implement like an interface and blah blah. But before that, we actually want to test if it actually works. So let's just display the name. So if you play, you can see nothing happens. That's okay. That's okay. It's not supposed to happen because we have to go into our first person, whatever that is, our blueprint, our character, and add this component because it's an active component like this. So now we can actually interact with it. So if you press C or left mouse button, you can see what we are interacting with. Either it's a ramp or a cylinder or whatever. So that's pretty cool. So now we have to detect what kind of item it is, and can we add that to our unit on it. So it's basically if we go to items and create an actor, call this BP main item, and double click on it, we're gonna have a static mesh. That's all we will basically have. And for now, we can have it as shape. Let's have a cube. I think that would be kind of cool. Let's add a color to it as well, like blue. We are gonna have blue cube. That's a big cube. So we're gonna try to interact with that. So if we try it right now, yeah, because I'm not printing it. But basically it should work if you print it out like this. So as you can see, main item. That's all we want. So now we're gonna check does implement an interface, because this is the best way to check it. If we go to core, let's go to systems and let's have an interface for it. This will be BPI item. Right here we can do if we're gonna have item data and another one called f interact. Or sorry, it should not be f because I'm gonna be stupid if I do that. I usually name them I as interface or something like that. Item data will have an output of item data, and that is the structure that we created, the item information. For the interact, there should be absolutely nothing, hopefully. But we'll see. So now if we, right here we have the BPI, so BPI item. And if it's true, we basically call the data, item data, this one. And the target is the hit actor, so you can plug that in. Yeah, just like that. And let's create a function in the AC interaction called add. So if everything works, so it has this interface of the item, we will get the item data right and add this item. We're getting the item data because we actually need to know how much of the item we have and what kind of item it is. So, and to get this data, to actually get this value that we're getting, you basically go to main item and have a variable of st or just item data and get the st item info. It should not be an array, it should be instance editable, expose and spawn, of course. And we can go to class settings and add this interface. Okay, so if we double click on it, we can have this, so we can plug this in. So that means if we edit the data, set this pp main item and call this rock. It goes back to interaction and, for example, print it out. So if you split it, print out the name, and if you interact with it, you can see it says a rock. So it's pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah, the main part is actually plugging that into the interact. We're just gonna have destroy. We don't really want to do anything else. We want to just destroy the actor. But this basically will add that to our inventory. So now we can get this function, and so we have the item data. So now we want to actually add this to our inventory, right? So it's gonna be pretty simple. So we're gonna do a for each loop to check if we already, I guess, have that item in our inventory. And we're gonna have an input of item info right here, and we gonna do AC, yeah, AC, or not AC, SD item. And right here we have, if we split it, we have this item info class, and we're just gonna do, does it equal to this one, to the item class? So that means if it does, we are picking up the similar item that we have in the inventory. If it doesn't, it's completely unique item in our inventory. So if it's true, we are actually going to do a local variable. Going to do a local variable called found index. So that's going to be later. That's going to be a single one. And we're just gonna set that to our array index, just like that. Oh, and we have to actually do for each loop with a break. That would be, I think, better. So let's split it once again. And right here, when it found it, we're just gonna basically break it for now. Fucking cry, bro. I fucking hate this, man. Okay. And this should go in. Yeah. So after we setting the found index run, oh yeah, by default found index should be -1. So right here we can actually check if this is, if it doesn't equal to -1, so that means that there is an item in, and we can start stacking it and so on. So basically how to do it, we are gonna get our inventory, get a copy of it, set the found index in, because as you can see we are setting the index of the item. Remember, you're picking one item at a time, so yeah. So this means it's stackable right here, and this means it's not, and we're gonna add a unique one. So right here we can I guess split this value because we only need the quantity of this. What we can do is actually no, yeah, quantity of this. So we're gonna do set array element of this inventory. Index is the found index. Right here we can split it. Set the quantity is basically add this copy of the inventory, I guess, to this item quantity. So that means how much items we have, or in one item, I guess, or something like that. So just like that, and you plug that in. I typed it so correctly I can write quantity. That's the new word. Rest of it's like item name, and so that's gonna go into this item. So as the class, like this. It's really messy, but hopefully you can understand it. And that's it. And we can right here do, we need a hit actor, so get an input of hit actor. SD, oh, not that actor, just actor. It should be our object reference. And right here we can have I interact, just like that. Now, if it's false, this is quite easy. We get the inventory, add the unique one, and bam. And the unique one, we have to once again split it and add these values and this quantity. I know it's really messy, but I can try to actually kind of clean it up. That's about it. That's how it's going to work. There's no max stack, so you can have infinite amount of items. We can add that later. It's really easy check. But I think this should technically work. Oh, one more thing, we have to add this interact at end of this as well. Just like that. Okay, so that should work. So, one more thing, we're gonna go to our first person character. We're gonna do a tab key. This will be a debug key. So if we go into event graph, tab key as debug key, get the interaction, get inventory, get a copy, a length of the inventory as well, split it, and we're gonna print out our class. But if we pick this up, nothing happens as well. Let's see, why does the print string not work? It does work, okay. Okay, let's do another try. Maybe it doesn't like the length. So if we do for each loop, we get this, do a print string, split these values, let's show this, and let's show the quantity of the item as well. So now let's try. Okay, now it works. So as you can see, we have two main items. So if we create children of this, so create child, pp scrap. And let's do another one, bp a rock. Let's change the color so we can actually see what's going on here. So the rock will be, I guess, orange. And let's have multiple of these. Just like that. Okay. So if we pick up this, we have 0. Oh, okay, I didn't set the... You have to set the class as well, so... Okay, so if we pick this up, we have 1 rock. We have 3... Oh. Yeah, 3 rocks. Then we have 2 scrap and 2 rocks. We have 4 scrap and now 6 scrap and 3 rocks. So we have a fully working inventory system, what took a little bit longer than I anticipated. But yeah, so what basically you have to do is add the classes, add the classes, what is important, and the quantity of the item.